Welcome to this week's edition of Died Suddenly. Now, over the last 2-ish weeks, there have been a whole lot of random death. Why is this happening? Why is it happening so often? What is going on? These are the questions we are asking ourselves right now. But I'm going to do what nobody else is really doing, and I'm just going to tell you some of the names and the causes of death of people that have just been dropping dead recently, their ages, just some little background info. That way you can start to just make your own opinions. Now, this is a little bit of a disclaimer. I don't have all the evidence on all these deaths, their medical history, who these people truly were. So, all I really have is what the media reported. So, keep that in mind. And I'm not going to be making any claims because I am on YouTube and I want to stay on here. So I'm going to let you all come to your own conclusions on what is going on. So to start us off, I have Clarence Williams. He was a police officer who had a medical episode during a police chase. The exact cause of death, what this medical episode was, is not being shared right now. But all we know is he died suddenly during a police chase. The next person I have on here is one of the most interesting cases. Estrella Martin, a soccer player. She was 14 years old. She died at home after returning from training, where she seemed perfectly healthy. This one is really interesting because athlete deaths have gone up significantly. And this girl, she was on the uprising. She was considered to be like one of the future stars of women's soccer, potentially a high potential type player. But 14 years old, dies completely randomly, suddenly after training at her house. Next one we have here is Ty Wells, University of Arizona, former swimmer there. He was 23 years old at the time of his death, and a cause of death is not presented that I could find. All we have is that it was a unexpected death. The next one I have here is Michael Leachester. Excuse me if I'm getting that wrong, but he was a dad of two, 37 years old, dies suddenly. These people, I specifically didn't pick anybody, just so you know, that it gave me any reason to believe that they had any kind of previous medical issue. There's some people on here that had histories of having strokes and stuff, and if they were in that group, I specifically left them out. But these people were all people without some kind of obvious medical background. Next one I have on here is maybe the saddest of all these. Faye Holden, 1 years old, dies suddenly. Cause of death unknown, just randomly died. This one is really sad, really sad. Well, yeah, it's bad. This one made me not want to do this anymore because I'm gonna be honest, looking through all these names, it depresses you pretty quick because it's just a lot of people who had bright futures that just like dropped, and this was a 1 year old with a family. That's just terrible. The next one I have on here, moving on, is Jeremy Burke, man living in Canada. He's an Irishman. He dies suddenly at the age of 27. Cause of death is, again, it's left unknown. All that it's stated is died suddenly. These people, it wasn't expected. It wasn't something that was like remotely considered a possibility. It's not like they were fighting illness. It's not like cancer popped up. No, they just dropped. They just dropped dead out of nowhere. Next one I have on here is a man out of Koderi. I couldn't find his name, unfortunately. All it said was died suddenly, and there was an ongoing uh, autopsy and everything, trying to figure out what happened. Just dropped dead again. Rachel Morgan. This is a really interesting one. A woman considered to be very fit and healthy by the people around her. Saw a few images of her on the article. She looked like she was in very good shape. She was 26 years old, dies suddenly. Caught everybody off guard around here because this is a very healthy woman. The next woman I have on here is Alicia Grulinghoff. Excuse me again if I got that wrong. Some of these foreign names are a little harder to pronounce. But this is another woman described as healthy by the people around her. 46 years old, dies suddenly while working out at the gym. Just drop dead. Finally, of ones that we can completely consider died suddenly is Michael Wright, father, 33, zero health problems is what his wife said about him. Zero previous health problems. Dies suddenly of heart attack at home. Now this one is a little bit. Talks about it considers a few issues. He dialed 999 and they didn't get there for 2 hours. So I'm glad we have our medical industry in America. We prefer that over calling your 999 and they just don't get there for 2 hours. That's no bueno. And finally, we have Dustin Allars, a Thomas College student, 21 years old, dies completely randomly of a brain tumor that seemingly just popped up. This one, I don't really know entirely what to think of. It's weird that there is no sign of anything wrong with him. He just like one day he was super healthy, and the next he just dropped dead. What to make of this? This doesn't really follow the common trends we see was died suddenly, which is heart attacks and strokes and seizures. Those are the main three, but it's really heart attacks and strokes are the main ones. Cardiac arrest, generally like heart stuff that we are focusing on when we talk died suddenly. But it is weird just to have a random brain tumor pop up and just kill someone just like that. But that one I'm gonna leave in like a separate category from the rest because it is following different trends. And to be clear, these are not the only people that unfortunately died. These were just the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These were just the first 11 that I found on news articles, and so go to Google, look up died suddenly if you want to find out more and find more people who unfortunately bit the dust. But yeah, that's all I have for this week's episode of Died Suddenly. Stay tuned. Next week I'll be pumping out another one. We post 2 videos a day here, so subscribe for that. We cover politics and conspiracy, so if you're interested, like I said, like, subscribe. Let's get this video out to the algorithm so that we can red pill more people. If you want to join the fight, this is how we do it together. But this has been Strange Investigations. I have been Ron Swanson signing off once again. So long, peace out, and God bless.